Hi, friends. Hope you're having an amazing day. I am really pumped about this conversation. Not just what I'm going to share, but what my guest is going to share, but what it's going to mean for your visibility in 2026 and beyond. I know we live in a short form video world where everyone is talking about creating more reels and creating more TikToks and more of those YouTube shorts videos. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to tell you, there is something that you may still be sleeping on, and that is the power of using live video, long form video, much what you're watching here today. So, I'm going to share with you about the power of using live video, specifically live streaming, and an opportunity for you to attend a free boot camp that's going to help you map out your live show. I'm Rashonda Pratt. I'm a communications and visibility strategist, and I'm so glad that you are here. We're streaming live right now across several platforms, my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, and also Visibility is Power TV on YouTube. So if you are watching this live, how do you know you're watching this live? Because you see that red button in the corner that says live. If you don't see that, you are in the replay. And so for those who are in the replay audience or live, I want you to use hashtag live or hashtag replay. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And so that way we can engage and get the party started. I'm really excited because I'm not doing this boot camp by myself. I'm doing it with the queen, okay, of video strategy, okay, my friend Alex Carmeli. And let me just tell you, just let me brag on Alex because she's not going to do this. So I'm going to do it for her. What I love about Alex, I met her a couple of years ago, and I'm not even sure how we met, but she invited me to be a part of her online summit. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, because I've been involved in many online summits, Alex is the real deal, and Alex knows how to do a video summit very well. And so I was excited when we decided to collaborate this year and do this live show boot camp because you're going to hear about this in a few minutes. Live video has been a game changer for the both of us. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about our story and our journey. And so without further ado, I'm bringing to the stage. I'd like to call her my video bestie, Alex Carmeli. Hey, girl.
Hi. Okay, you have me blushing back here. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this ego boost on a Friday afternoon like this. So thank you. That was so kind.
You're so welcome. And listen, Alex, I meant every single word of it because I know I've told you that behind the scenes, how I've always enjoyed working with you and being a part of your summits. But I think it's important that you don't remain the best kept secret. And I just don't tell you that behind the scenes, but I very much am a girl's girl. And I think it's important to amplify you before people as well. So I did my personal introduction, but tell the people who you are and how you change the world, friend.
Yeah, appreciate it. So my name's Alex Carmeli. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. I'm here with my husband, our two dogs, and we have a little baby girl. And for the last, crazy to say, 5 years, I've been helping entrepreneurs to use live video and video marketing experiences to get in front of their audience and sell with confidence and have a good time while doing it. And my thing is like to make video the most fun part of your week. Like it shouldn't be that thing that you are dreading. And I'm saying this as someone who is not naturally like super extroverted or someone who's not naturally super just like I love the attention and spotlight. Before I had this video business, I was doing a leadership coaching business and I literally swore I would never get on camera. I would never, ever get on social media. Like I swear that was me. And now fast forward to being this video person because it was just such a transformational thing for me when I did use it correctly. So if you're that person listening, that's like, I will never do this. Never say never.
I love that. So when you talk about that, because that's my similar journey as well. I come from the television news industry of 20 years, but I was behind the scenes as a television news producer. And people are often shocked when I tell them I didn't like my voice. I didn't like how I looked on camera. So I was scared, afraid, terrified of being on camera. So what led you to hit that go live button for the first time, Alex?
Honestly, it was out of necessity. So when I
Mm,
started the business, the leadership coaching business in 2020, I started it in
mm,
January, and in March was when COVID, the pandemic hit. And
yeah.
I could not go through with the plans that I'd created. I thought I was going to do all these lunch and learns at these businesses that at the time I was living in
Mhm.
Boston, and I was going to go around and do these kind of lunch and learns, and then everything got shut down, and I was like, well, how am I going to build my business if I literally cannot connect with people in person? And
Mm,
so, I went down, I finally had to be like, okay, I have to use social media. And I started out doing pre-recorded videos, and I was so bad. Like the amount of retakes I had to do, the amount of
yeah.
like, I kid you not, it would take me like a day or sorry, a week to film one video and then go through and edit it. And it was just so much time spent for like no
Mhm.
return at all, except my mom who would watch them. So shout out to my mom, but like that's about
Thanks,
it.
mom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she watched all my videos. It was so nice, but I didn't get any clients. And so I was like, okay, I got to make this work. So
Yeah.
live was that thing that like I only had to do it once. When you do go live, social media, like really, they really push it out more because they're like, oh, like people are live, like
For
they want
sure.
to get that engagement for you.
Mhm.
The back and forth conversation you can have with your audience is great. I didn't have to do any editing. It was one and done. Like it was transformational. And it's how I was able to get that first client back in 2020.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't realize that you started in 2020. And while it may seem so long ago, it isn't. And you have had a lot of success since hitting that go live button. Let's talk about that real quickly. What has been the big success for you? The big moment from, honestly betting on yourself and doing video.
Mm. Yeah, I did a crazy thing in 2020. Like in
Uh-huh.
2019, I figured out that I saved enough money that I could take 2020 off to just go and build my own business. And I was like, if I'm not going to do it now, when am I going to do this? And so I
Yes.
basically bet on myself, which was really scary, but it forced me to get the job
Mm,
done. So I
yeah.
quit my job. I did this whole thing. And I think the biggest thing for me has been like the time freedom that I have gotten back from all of this with, like that is so big for me where, I have clients from all over the world or students from all over the world. I'm able to be virtual. I'm not having to, send my daughter to daycare. Like I can be a stay-at-home mom and I can also
Yes.
run my business and be here with you. So there's been a lot of like wins, but to like put the live video cherry on top of all this is like, this is why also I'm like a live person. Like I value
Mm,
time freedom so much where like I don't want
yeah.
to spend hours and hours doing the editing. So
Mhm.
it is really helpful in that way.
I love in your story, Alex, when you're talking about the fact that, you know, you were really skittish about doing the recorded video, but it was something that shifted in your brain about doing it live. And for my story, I embraced live video because it really was like a divine download. I mean, I started
Mm,
in 2014, 2015 with Periscope. And, Periscope was an app that really kicked off live streaming. And I started in 2015, 2014, just teaching people what I know, which is how to be a great storyteller and how to pitch your story to the media. And then it started to developing into the Row Show, which was the nickname that I had at every television station I worked for. People would always call me the Row Show. And then we ended up calling it the Row Show Live. And from that journey, the biggest thing that happened for me is that you talk about time freedom. I think for me, it was financial freedom. I
mm,
could not believe that I was able to be paid for one, something that I enjoyed, and number two, um, for a skill that people needed. And Alex, in my story, when 2015 and Periscope came on the scene, you ready for this, Alex? I had colleagues and journalists and friends and even family who told me live streaming was a fad.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a fad. It's not going to be around. What? And so I just didn't listen to them. And I just kept building and kept building. And when you were starting in 2020, we were hitting like a major milestone in 2020. So while the world had to learn how to live stream and how to use Zoom, and for many of my colleagues in the television industry, they were doing the news from their living room because TV stations had to shut down. I already knew how to do all those things. So the people who talked about me and made fun about me, they had to go buy my book on how to use live video. They had to buy the ring light from my Amazon store. And I often think about, as a visionary, how important it is for you to hold on to the vision that you've been given, because it's been given to you for a reason, even if no one else sees it. Jamie Kern Lima says it like this, Alex. She says, "You're not crazy, you're just first." That's it. You're not crazy. You're just first. And so I always like to share that story because I know there are people who may be venturing into this live video or creating their live show and maybe saying to themselves, who do I think I am to have my own show? And what if people are making fun of me? And so what would you say to them, Alex, to people who are vacillating between those thoughts?
I think, number one, you need to grow your circle a little bit more. And so like the courage to quit my job and start my own thing and just go all in for a whole year. The only reason that happened was because I was part of this coaching group that like opened my eyes in ways and showed me time freedom, financial freedom, what kind of person you can be and achieve those things. And when I was actually able to be close to it and understand it, I was like, I'm just like them. I just haven't taken the actions yet, but that could be me in 5 years if I just go down that route. So you have to expand your circle, expand your community, and expose yourself to people who are like valued, but not necessarily like-minded. And what I mean by that is like people who have the same values as you, meaning like they have good morals, they're of good character, but they could get you, or they take a very different route than maybe you are used to seeing, right? So for example, maybe your current circle right now are people who yes you and are like, yes, that looks amazing, or you're so good at everything you do, which isn't really a very good thing, I think. Like, I think there's people that should challenge you. But the opposing side to that is people who give you the no also, who are like, oh, that looks really bad, or no, that's a terrible idea, or you're going to get hate comments or whatever. So the people who aren't like-minded are going to give you more to think about. They're going to give you more to chew on. They're going to show you alternate ways to get to your destination that might challenge you. And the only way you do that is to expand your circle. So like, I would worry less about what kind of hate comments you're going to get, and like spend more of that energy trying to like get in rooms with people who are going to show you these alternate routes, who are going to make you so invested and have all of your energy just go into getting to those places, versus there's just no time to think about those hate comments.
Right. That is so good. That's so good, Alex. And we're partnering together and bringing the live show boot camp starting next week. You can get your free ticket, ladies and gentlemen, by going to the description of this video. I want to hear from you. Why do you think, like, I personally have said this for years, Alex, and I stand on this. I think anybody who is a leader, who is a thought leader in their industry, should have their own studio in their home. They should have a place set up where you are not just creating content, but you are managing your media channel. Because for me, I believe that's what social media is. It's an opportunity for us to have our own media network. So why do you think it's so important for people to have their own live show?
Okay, well, I'm going to use you as an example, because your live show is the reason we're here right now, and the reason I invited you to even be part of Live Show Bootcamp. So back in December, this lovely lady was doing a 25 days of lives, miss. Am I saying it right? 25 days of lives. And it was so fun. It was you going live for 25 days in a row, which God bless you is a feat in itself. That is a lot of work. For
Yeah.
me, the most I've done is like 10 days.
Alex, there's a funny story about that. Let me just tell you this funny story. And this will just tell you everything about my life. So, my good girlfriend asked me, she says, "You're going live for 25 days." This was like by day, I think it was like 10 or 15. And I said, "Yeah, because 25 days of Christmas." And she said, "Rashonda, the song is 12 Days of Christmas." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, you thought it was." I said, "I don't know. Somewhere in my brain, I was thinking it's 25 days." And so that's how I ended up doing 25 days. And she says,
Yeah.
"This is why you should talk to me first before you make any major decisions." I was like, "I could have stopped this days ago." And she's like, "Yeah, but we're here now." But I'm so glad that I did those 25 days because, I mean, you were so impacted by it and told me, like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea." And I'm like, "Well, if the video lady, the video strategist is saying it's a good idea, then it's a good idea."
I thought it was so brilliant. And so every day during December, you would pop up on my feed and it was you, talking about whatever topic you were on. You had the little trailer of you with Santa, like coming on. It was so well done. And this is how impactful lives can be. Like, I think people literally just seeing you, even if they don't listen to anything, is enough because they'll see the comments from other people. They'll see you going live. They'll see your professional background. That's just one level of it. But then you'll like have people who are tuning in for a minute or two, which is what I did because I didn't have a lot of time. And it was me just like listening to snippets every day when I could of like what you were talking about. And even though I couldn't see the whole time, it was so impactful. And why I wanted to bring this example up and why this matters so much with having your own live show and studio at home is because the results you get from live video aren't just financial. It's the speaking engagement. It's the collaborations that you then get. It's the connections you then have. It's the multiple touch points people will then see to eventually come back and buy. So like without you doing live, Miss, I don't know if we'd be here. I don't know if you'd be as like top of mind. Like you're always someone top of mind for me, but this like really put you over the edge where I was like, wow, like this is, I knew I was going to host live show boot camp. And then when I saw that, I was like, you are the best example of someone to come in and talk because you're doing such a good job of showing off what a live show is.
Alex, thank you so much for that because that means a lot because when everything that you said, and I'm going to even add to it, we are literally, because we created those 25 days of video content and most of those videos were 20 to 30 minutes. Our team is still cutting content. They're only on day like 9 and 10.
It's crazy.
They're still. So what also happened from that is I'm now going into the second quarter and we're now still able to repurpose that content because it's evergreen content. Though I did it during December, evergreen meaning it's not dated content. And so we're able to take that content and repurpose it into blogs, true story. We're able to repurpose it into short videos. This is why I'm a big supporter of do the long video, go from long to short. And totally we're able to repurpose all of that video because we have 25 days of content because there's nothing wasted. That's the beauty for me also of having a live show.
Yeah, I would argue you basically spent December to do your whole content strategy for 2026. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have that much probably content you could pull from it. So it's just amazing. Like it's so well done.
That was like, you just gave me a nugget in here because I'm thinking like, I didn't think about that really is a content strategy because much of it is all my content pillars. And we talk about this in the bonus freebie, but much of that is already the pillars and already the things that I have. So you're right. It really is the content strategy for the year.
Yeah. And okay. So Live Show Bootcamp is an event that I've run twice before. And I've never had a guest before because I've never had someone that I'm like, okay, it really makes sense to bring them in. But for you now, like we're bringing you in for a bonus day 4. Typically it's 3 days. We're doing a bonus day 4 because we're going to talk about, how to leverage AI as your co-producer. And we're going to specifically use, your Lives Miss example and like talk about talk about that live show and all that good stuff. And yeah, it's going to be really special. And I think if you guys want to see like that behind the scenes of like, not just like the high level stuff, do you know what I mean? Like we're going to go through the strategy and the scripting and like launching, but then like your real time examples and like how you're using AI, like I think is going to really take this like to the next level.
I'm excited about it. And so let's go a little bit. You want to share a little bit with the folks about how this works and what it would look like. And the thing about it is, Alex, you're like the gift that keeps on giving. Girl, it's free. What?
So good.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to share my screen or?
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead and produce this.
I don't know if it's going to let me. It's not allowing me to pop it on.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Oh, I'll be your co-producer. There you go.
Okay, perfect. So we're starting pretty soon. We're starting in 3 days, 5 minutes, 22 seconds and counting. So exciting. April 6th to 9th. And basically it's going to be 4 days of live trainings. We will have recordings, but we're essentially going to go through how to plan, script, launch, and then use AI as a co-producer for your whole show. So when you sign up for your free ticket, you'll get access to those free trainings. You'll also get access to a swag bag with lots of gifts. And I want to tease the gift that you created because it's brand new. Do you want to share what it is? Because it's so good.
Sure. So the gift that I have in the swag bag is I am showing you how to leverage and use AI as a co-producer so you can go live for 12 days or maybe 25 days. And so I'm sharing with you the step-by-step process on how you can train your AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude, whatever your preference is, on how you can work together in creating topics. Alex, I think one of the things that I've seen over the years in helping my clients to show up online is they always feel like they're starting at ground zero. They always feel like, okay, where can I find a topic? What can I talk about? So using AI as a co-producer really starts to help you to train it to understand your audience, understand your content pillars, and you're not starting at ground zero. You already have those topics and it shows you how to create it and work with AI to do it.
Yeah. And I would argue too, like you're going to have 3 days of training on like the psychology of writing great live video scripts and the frameworks and making the core decisions. So like when we do get to the day on AI, like you'll have a lot to be able to feed this versus starting from scratch as well. And like, I just think it's such a winning combination. So the goal is like not to just like twiddle your thumbs and hopefully stuff gets done. Like every day there's going to be homework. There's a community where you're going to be posting those homeworks. You're going to be taking action throughout. You can be asking questions. We also have a VIP ticket that you can purchase where you can come on Zoom and get feedback on your strategy, get feedback on your scripts, come and ask questions on everything. So it's a very, very like robust event. I think that's going to be really helpful if you take action, if you show up to the trainings.
I love it. And so again, you can get your ticket today. It's in the link I put a link in the description of this video so you can join us. And it's not just us, it's hundreds of other people that are going to be in this boot camp, this live boot camp. Alex, I want to talk about something real quick as we begin to wrap up.
Yeah.
I said at the beginning, we're in a world that's a lot of short form video. And we're not hating on short form video. We think it's amazing. And there was a time, Alex, you may remember this, where there was a boost of everybody was live streaming. Everybody was doing it. And now you don't see that as much. And so I even had a conversation one time with a client who said, Rashana, is it still even a thing to live stream? I mean, nobody's doing it. And I won't say my answer yet, but I want to ask you, is it still a thing? A lot of people aren't doing it. Should we?
Honestly, you said this earlier. It's not a fad. It's never going out of style. And I think the reason people have this perception that it is going out of style or it's not going to be useful in a business setting is because of some of the examples that they're seeing. So like, for example, have you ever
So
been
good.
on TikTok and see people live and they're like just sitting there, like putting on makeup, or
Yes.
they're not doing anything. And I'm like, why are we
Right.
live streaming this? And like, I get it.
Correct.
Like, it's a different nature of content. Like, it's a different thing. But either the lives are super long, they're not doing anything, like I said. And so you have to understand how to do it strategically for business. So, like, you can have
Mhm.
lives that are 15 minutes done and they make a huge impact. You could have lives that are a little bit, shorter, longer. Like, you have to kind of understand, I think, the deeper strategy behind it in
Yeah.
order to like be able to create it really, really well,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
I know, totally makes sense, and I will add to that, I believe that it's still viable, and I'm
Yeah.
one of those people, I always zig when others zag. So, just because people aren't doing it, that's a prime example for you to do it and be stand out in it. And so, I
Yeah.
still think there is a thing for it. We're still watching TV. We're still watching streaming videos on Netflix or whatever your favorite streaming platform is. And so none of that would have happened if there wasn't a Periscope, if there wasn't someone who was already showing us how to do it.
Yeah, and let me add to this too, because I'm not an AI hater. Like, I'm clearly bringing you in to talk about AI, and like I
Sure.
see the value in it, but I do think there's a healthy amount of skepticism too in the videos that are being put out because of the amount of
Sure.
AI created videos there are where people are like, is this really you? Is this really your
Yeah.
content? Like, I don't trust it. And so when you go live, it is the realest way people can see and hear and experience you. And if you are
Mhm.
selling coaching or consulting or memberships, or people need to listen to you and like they need to like you, yeah,
Right.
it makes sense for them to experience you live. Like, I know that like the amount of times when I was new and I would buy stuff and I would immediately have regret because they weren't actually that good on video or good on camera. Like, people need to hear you
Mhm.
and listen to you and really understand who you are, I think, especially in this time of AI. And I think
Yes.
live does overcome a lot of those objections.
I love that. I love that. Alex, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
This is going to be a super special event. We're joined by a really special guest. Like, don't miss out. And I hope we'll see you there.
Yes. Again, the link is in the description of this video. Really want you to be there and lock in. And Alex, just echoing what you said before. I mean, it's not a fad. It's not going anywhere. And honestly, I believe it's going to steadily increase. And so this is a great opportunity for you to position yourself. As a person who worked in television for years, the gatekeepers are gone, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there is a benefit in being booked on the Today Show or on your local media. But until they come knocking, you can
Mm.
go ahead and position yourself and position your authority by having your own show. And so, why not take advantage of this opportunity, this wonderful opportunity that Alex has created, and join us at the live show boot camp next week? We're gonna, it's gonna be amazing, and I'm really excited for you to be there. Alex, thank you so much for doing this live with me, and thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of the boot camp.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be amazing. We'll see you there, friends.
Bye.